All right, good morning, everyone. My name is John Looney. I'm the Program Director for the Luzerne County Human Service Division, and I would like to welcome you to our 2020 Caring Community Virtual Expo that's hosted by our Luzerne, Wyoming County's System of Care. I'll be your host for today's training, which is the Recovery Library presented by Rebecca Dominguez and Jeff Romey from Community Care Behavioral Health, two people that I know well and had the privilege of working with before, so I'm sure we're in for a really great training today. I would just like to remind folks that we are recording today's session so that we could share it with those who are not unable to attend. I will be monitoring the chat and the hand raising icon. If you scroll over your screen in the middle, you'll get an icon bar, and the 5 fingers in the air is the raise hand, and then the comment box next to that is the show conversation is the chat box. If you have questions or you'd like to comment, please use that chat box. I'd like to remind everybody that you will be muted so as not to disrupt our presenters, as we have a large number of participants in today's meeting. Towards the middle of the presentation, Rebecca will pause and ask if folks have questions. Again, I'd ask that you please raise your hand at that point, and I'll say Rebecca has a question that she'd like to ask, and then you may unmute yourself and ask a question at that time. Towards the end of our presentation, I will be sharing a SurveyMonkey link in the chat box. I would ask that prior to exiting the conference or the session today, I would ask that you complete that SurveyMonkey. That will generate a participation certificate for you, but it will also help us plan accordingly for next year's expo when we talk about what kind of presentations we want to have. So with nothing further, I'd like to turn it over to Rebecca and Jeff.
Hi folks, thank you John. I really appreciate that introduction. So you guys are stuck with me for about an hour today to talk about the Recovery Library. Again, thank you so much for your participation. One other thing that I do want to mention is I can also put my email either in the chat box or give it to John. So folks have questions or may have questions later on. I mean, you can always email me with those, that's not a problem. Okay, great. So my co-presenter, Jeff Romey, is also on the line. Are you out there, Jeff?
Yes, hi everybody.
Jeff is the Community Relations Coordinator for the Northeast Contract, so he's going to help us out today also. Okay, so John already did the housekeeping. I'm going to go ahead and get started. So today we're going to be talking about basically two different things. The first part we're going to be focusing on is how community care members can register and sign up for the usage of the Recovery Library. I will be demonstrating the website and going through some clicks on the website so you can see how that's done, but we'll talk more about that when we get there. Then I'm going to go into an area of talking about using the Recovery Library for providers and staff. So I don't know if folks are familiar with the Recovery Library, but this is something that was created by Pat Deegan. And Pat is a psychologist and researcher, and also a fantastic advocate for mental health. Very recovery oriented, and the Recovery Library just really focuses on a lot of recovery oriented tools and resources. Basically, it's the one-stop shopping destination for thousands of recovery, health, and wellness tools, and resources that were created by Pat Deegan. Okay, next slide. So, also too, if folks are interested in having the slides, I can also have John send those to you. So the Recovery Library, how to register. The Recovery Library is definitely an online resource that is free for community care members. It was created for people in recovery, by people for in recovery. So like I said a little bit earlier, Pat Deegan, she also is an individual who is in recovery. It has videos, worksheets, and all kinds of educational articles, along with a lot of other wellness tools that can help you with recovery and wellness. And like I said, the recovery library for our members, community care behavioral health members, is free. And folks just need to use their medical assistance registration number to be able to sign up for this tool. Also, too, you can use your smartphone to get the recovery library in a click. So I am going to go to the library so you can take a look at it through our website. So let me just see. So this is the slide about signing up. All you need is your access card, and then you follow the steps through the e-portal. And again, it is free. So let me go to Community Care's website, hopefully, and please have patience with me. I'm gonna see if we can folks see that, John?
We're still on the how do you sign up page.
Okay, so that's no good. Oh, you know why? Because I did not click this other thing. Okay, so here we go. There we go. Okay, so folks should be able to see this page on the web. This is Community Care's website, and as you can see, it has two sections, one for members and one for providers. So for the purpose of getting registered as a member, you would click on For Members, and then it loads this page. This has a lot of information on it. You can also, find a provider. There's lots of member information and health topics. But what we're going to be doing is going to the health topics link at the top of the page. And I do have a cheat sheet for folks on this, so you'll be able to have that. And then we're on the health topics page. So on the left-hand side, if you scroll down to online tools, recovery library. And then one more click to the recovery library. So it gives you a little blurb about the recovery library, again, reminding folks that it is free for community care members and signing up. It has information about all of these different topics: friendship and dating, medicine, quitting smoking, healthy eating. The recovery library is secure, so you never have to worry about any of that. And signing up is easy. If you're already a member, you can click there. It'll take you to the sign-in page. So I'm just going to go to the e-portal. This is what it would look like to be able to get into the portal. But if you need to sign up, you just click sign up, and you would just go with all the prompts. John, I think I'm going to open it up if anybody has any questions right now at this point.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions at this point? If you wouldn't mind raising your hand, or you could unmute yourself and ask if you're more comfortable doing that. I think we're good, Becky.
All right, perfect. One of the other things I wanted to show you on this through the e-portal is any of the blue links, hyperlinks, you can click on and it will take you to the sign up page. But there is, at the bottom of this page, where it says questions, read our quick reference guide or contact us. The reference guide is going to show you page by page, how to log in, about your username and password. So It's a lot of information about the different things that are in the portal along with the recovery library. So you can see that there's different trackers that you can also use along with the recovery library. So lots of different resources on ccbh.com. And then this document will just basically talk you through on how you would set up an account and register for the portal. Lots of pages. Okay, great. Perfect. All right, so let me see if I can get back to where I need to go. Oof. Here we go. Nope, that didn't work. Here we go. I'm just waiting for the agenda. There we go. Okay, so again, you know, the quick reference guide is nice because it gives you that step-by-step process of signing up. Oh, and in the PowerPoint, these are the clicks that I went through. It's like my little cheat sheet to get to the page where you can register for the recovery library. All right, any other? I was just going to ask if folks had any questions about that. It's very straightforward. I think now with our day of using computers as much as we are getting online, folks will be able to connect and get an account and register. Any questions? Is everybody sleepy today? All right. Huh?
I said, I think it's the weather.
Or it's the presenter, one of the two, right? Yeah. Okay.
No, it's the weather. You're doing great.
Okay, perfect. So then we're going to move into the recovery library for like providers and staff members. One of the really cool things that I do for community care is I work with the Common Ground programs. Pat Deegan was able to train folks within the organization to be Common Ground specialists, and it's pretty neat working with her and being able to learn all this information. So the recovery library for providers and staff is really a great tool because there's lots of different things that you can do with it, and we'll get into a lot of that stuff in a little bit. But I just wanted to show here on this slide that you know, using the recovery library with the folks that we're supporting is super important. So, you know, running groups, all kinds of tools to help members learn about wellness and different strategies to be well, decision support, increasing individuals' involvement in making choices for treatment and recovery. One of the things that you'll see within the library is lots of worksheets and different tools, you know, to really get folks, you know, working in toward their recovery and wellness. What's nice for organizations is that in-service trainings, you can mix and match different things for staff orientation, shared decision-making, easily access information to support collaboration with the individuals that are being supported. Clinicians, case managers, psychiatrists, can definitely learn a lot through the recovery library. And then for understanding with, you know, individuals, families, and friends, developing compassion for the lived experience of recovery. So lots of different uses for the recovery library. Okay. So again, I'm going to flip over to the web. And let me just click this. Okay, can folks, John, can you see that?
I'm still seeing the recovery library demonstration slide.
Bummer. Okay, concentrate here, Rebecca. All right, there's that, right? Now if I go here, not yet, right? Because I don't have my red.
Nope.
Not
Okay.
yet.
Huh?
No, it didn't switch over yet.
All right. So share content. Where is my little?
Did you try the open share tray icon?
I did. I opened. But I don't know why I can't do this now. Okay. Let's see. Here is my hide share options. But you still see the PowerPoint, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can switch the slide, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go back there. Here's PowerPoint.
So Jeff, do you
Oh,
mind if
I
ask-
see. Oh,
I
go
was going
ahead.
to ask a question. Go ahead, Becky.
No, that's all right. Go ahead.
Well, just you brought something up important. Anyone would be able to access the recovery library. You wouldn't have to be a community care behavioral health choices member. Is that correct?
You do have to be a Health Choices member with a medical assistance number.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And that's for, on our website and registering through our website.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. So I think you guys can see this now, right? The recovery
Yes.
library?
Yes.
All right. Perfect. Okay. So this is the opening screen when you finally do log on to the recovery library. And as you can see, lots of different information already to the home page, to the welcome page. Every month, Pat updates things, so making sure all the information is very current with what's happening within our communities. One thing I do want to mention about the recovery library is you will never see any pop-up advertisements. One thing Pat works very hard on with the recovery library is she vets everything that is on all of the content of the recovery library. So you know that you're getting good information from good sources. So that's, definitely a plus. So lots of different categories within the library itself. And I'm going to play a quick video on how to use the recovery library. From the learning track, you'll get to hear and see Pat.
Becky, is there supposed to be sound?
Oh, yeah, no sound?
It might be going filtering through your headphones. You might want to unplug them quick just to see if that makes a difference.
Can you hear it?
No.
Hmm. Still no sound?
Still no
All right.
sound.
Let me just stop it then. Hmm. Oh, Lord have mercy. Here we go. Okay. Well, I don't know why the sound isn't working. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so not a problem, but so you know that there is a short video about using the recovery library. And again, any of the hyperlinks you can click on and open up things. So let's start at the top here where if you hover on the different topic areas, you're going to see a whole list of all of the different resources that are in that topic. And there's lots of them. Whole health is another category that is really helpful and beneficial. Self-advocacy. Medicines. Lots of information regarding PAT, the Common Ground approach, and then definitely more categories. I'm surprised that I couldn't get that sound to go. That bugs me. But there might be another way to do it. So then on the rest of the bar up here is you do have a search bar. So anything that you would like to look up, you can just type in. My COVID, there, I believe there is a safety plan, a COVID-19 safety plan worksheet, which is pretty right on target for where we're at these days. I do believe there is also a short video that goes along with this. So you can listen to the video and find out how to really hone in and use the worksheet. And then the other piece of information on the bar across the top is my favorites and programs, statistics, your sign out, your edit your account. But the feature that I really like is the My Favorites feature, because that is where you can store all of the different things that you yourself go to and use all the time. So as you can see in My Favorites, there's a lot of different resources that I've kept there. Some of Pat's inspirational videos, they're very short, but they really have great messages. Putting the back in human services, you are part of the team. I'm just going to see if the sound is going to play through this. Okay, so you can see that, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's just, can you hear it?
No,
No?
I cannot.
I don't know why that's happening.
Yeah, I don't know why that's happening.
Yeah, I don't know why either. That's okay. But anyway, that feature of my favorites is just really beneficial to have pieces of information at your fingertips. John, if you could open up and see if anyone has any thoughts or questions about
Sure.
what they're seeing so far. And I'm totally bummed out that the sound won't play.
Any questions for anyone regarding anything you've seen so far? And just a reminder, we will be sharing not only the slides, but Rebecca mentioned like a one-sheet frequently asked questions, I believe, or a tool guide to help you navigate the page. We'll
Yes.
send that out as well, and then information on how to reach both Rebecca and Jeff. I don't see any hands raised, but if folks are more comfortable unmuting yourselves, if you'd like to ask a question, please feel free to do that as well.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And folks, I just want to add a little bit. It's Jeff Romy. The worksheets that Rebecca is scrolling up and down now, this is just a very, very small example of how many worksheets are on this platform. It's just amazing, the self-help tools on the Recovery Library that now providers can use for any type of groups in their facility. It's just really, it's just really spectacular how many worksheets and different self-help and guides there are for folks to use. It's really endless. I believe, Rebecca, there's really over 500, correct?
Oh yeah, there's tons.
So this is just a very, very small example of the tools that are available to members and or providers. So I just wanted to put that out there, folks.
So what I did with the worksheets is I just typed in the search bar worksheets, and you could see there's like 175 matches at this point, but if we go to the categories, right, of worksheets, this gives you a really nice look at the different topics and categories. So addiction, recovery, negative thoughts, anger, parenting, different calendars and trackers. So let me just click on that. So lots of different things that you can track and look at from week to week, month to month. Mood tracker, self-harm, self-esteem, school goals, harm reduction, hearing distressing voices, setting a weekly goal, side effects, sleep health. I could use that one. Medicine. So lots and lots of different tools to help folks with their recovery and wellness. Now this one I can use too, the weight loss tracker. Let me just go back. So these are the worksheet categories: concentration, personal medicine, exercise, nutrition, weight, communication, financial recovery, school, education, goal setting, grief. I know right now, during the pandemic, with talking with our members, grief has been something that is really taking its toll on individuals. It's just been a pretty difficult time throughout this pandemic for a lot of individuals and families. side effects worksheet, sleep, again, independence, managing my symptoms, work. The one thing I wanted to click on is the alphabetical list of the worksheets. So on this page, it talks about this list and that there are also training videos to teach you how to use the worksheets. So that's pretty helpful. But again, there are a big variety. Backup childcare plan these days, trauma triggers, self-care plan. So lots and lots. I mean, I can keep scrolling forever, but anything and everything that you could possibly want to use to help individuals or help yourself.
Rebecca, while we're on the subject, if you can, I think it would be helpful for folks if you could just review the toolbar again. Like if you have a certain topic that you want information on or a worksheet, how could folks use that toolbar to access that specific document? I know that's just a really great tool to use.
Oh, absolutely. So at the top of the page where you see Pat's logo, you know, going across to all the different categories, right here is the search link. So if you click on that, it's going to open an area where you could just type in anything that you're looking for. So I don't know if anybody online would have a topic or something that they would want to search for within the library. If you just, John, if they can open up their mics, we can.
Does anybody have a topic they'd like to discuss? And if not, we're not getting off that easy because I have one for you. I'm curious, you know, one of the things that we've discussed a lot is the idea of social distancing, and people with anxiety disorders or depressive symptoms, that could be very isolating. So
Right.
Are there any kind of tools or resources for individuals, you know, maybe physical distancing or things that they could do in their homes to help, you know, re-engage them with their community or community resources or so it's pretty broad. I apologize. And I know I'm throwing it right at you on the spot, but.
So something that would help individuals start to think about re-engaging
Right.
out into the community.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Or self-help or activities. There you go. Okay.
So this is one of Pat's newer tools. As you can see, it was last updated 3 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
But again, because I can't play the sound, this first one that I'm highlighting is actually a 5-minute video transcript where Pat is going to share with you how to use the safety plan. But I'm going to go right to the safety plan itself, which is a worksheet, and see if I can enlarge this at all, because that's kind of small, right?
Mm-hmm.
I could see it fairly well, but
Are you
yeah,
sure?
if you could, that might.
Yeah, let me see. I'm trying to think if I.
About top left, that little box there, or no?
No, that made it smaller. Let me just see if I can go, because I'm pretty sure I kept it in my favorites. It might come up a little larger. Well, is that any better?
Yes, for me it is.
Yes.
Okay.
Seeing some head nods.
All right, so this is my COVID-19 safety plan. And just starting at the top, it talks about all of the restrictions during the pandemic, and they are starting to ease, and most of us are transitioning back into the community. So this worksheet is definitely used to help us do that. So it gets us thinking about what it is that we've missed the most during the pandemic. And Pat has listed, a couple of different things, but then also leaving open spaces that you can type in your own thoughts. So if someone, has something else that they really miss doing during these times. And then thinking about which activity do I want to get back to first, and filling that in on the line. Next step is basically listing the pros and cons of getting back to that activity, reconnecting with people, using something as your own personal medicine, something that you do every day that helps you be well and stay well. And then what are the cons? And then down below is your plan for actually staying safe. Of course, wearing a mask, being outside, here's your 6 feet away from each other. And then really wondering at the very bottom, are you ready to get back to this activity safely? And it's okay if you're not, so it just is a really nice little tool that's going to talk you through thinking about getting back out in the community and re-engaging with individuals. So John, I'm not sure if that is something that you would find helpful for individuals, but
Yes, tremendously. Thank you.
Yeah.
And it's just, I'm impressed by, I gave you a pretty broad topic. You were able to just type in something pretty general and you had an entire list of resources at your fingertips.
Yeah, and I think too, if I could figure out how to get out of this now. Okay. If I search even more, I'm sure there might be more information that Pat has on here. It's tough to kind of memorize everything. Oh, and one of the other things that I did want to mention is Pat is cognizant of making sure that there are Spanish resources. So a lot of the worksheets are also translated in Spanish. So there's COVID-19 information. Let's see what this resources page looks like. So again, information, what's happening now, how to protect yourself. This would be very interesting. We are connected. Ooh, it's another video. So I'm sorry that I can't play the sound for you. I don't know why that's happening, but taking a look at that looks like a pretty nice video.
And Rebecca, if I could just add, it's Jeff again. There are so many great videos on the Recovery Library as well, folks. They're just endless. They're really, really straightforward. And so many folks have informed me personally how helpful they have been. And Pat Deegan, who organized and is the owner of this whole application, the Recovery Library, has a mental health disability herself. And it's just very straightforward and very, very helpful. The videos are really well put together and are really easy to understand and for providers and or members. So I just wanted to add that.
Yep. Okay, great. One of the other things that I just wanted to mention too is there's lots of learning tracks. Within the library too. So you can click on any of these and it's really going to show you videos and worksheets and different things to, you know, learn how to use all of the resources. Okay. Any other questions or comments about the library before we move on to the last piece that I wanted to share with individuals?
I don't see any so far, Becky. I think
Holy
you can.
moly. All right. Okay, so I'm going to try to get back to my PowerPoint. Uh-oh. Now I lost you, John. There you are. Okay. So the last piece we're going to talk about is pretty exciting for me, and I think it's going to be exciting for our members and our providers. It was just released, I think, oh God, maybe last week before, so not even 2 weeks. And this document that we're going to be taking a look at talks about a resource for providers. And in a minute, I'll have John pull up the whole document and we could take a look at it. But this is just one of the clips from the document that we'll be taking a look at. And it's new and improved access to recovery tools for members and providers. So what's happened between Community Care and Pat Deegan is that we are now going to be offering the Recovery Library to every single provider that is within our network. Prior to this, and it's for free. So prior to this, individual facilities or organizations would have to pay for a subscription to the Recovery Library. But now they do not. They will be able to access all of these resources for their staff members for free. So it's a great opportunity to be able to then start using all of these resources to do a lot of different things within your organization that we talked earlier about, you know, running groups, supporting individuals that you're working with, and those types of things. So providers will now have access to the Academy Library resources. And John, if you're able to pull up the rest of that document for me, that would be awesome. There it is. Would you be able to make it bigger?
I will certainly try.
Yeah, sometimes if those three little buttons, it might give you a full screen. That's pretty good. Can folks see that? Ooh, that's even better. Ooh, that's even better. All right. Okay, perfect. You just have to, scroll for me when we move down. So if you go down to that section that says, what is Academy Plus Library? Okay, perfect. Great. So the Recovery Library and its thousands of recovery-oriented resources is combined with the power of the Academy. So e-learning courses and real-world practice to help staff and organizations get the most out of the library while learning how to effectively deliver recovery-oriented care. So the Academy and the library includes some courses on the Common Ground approach, with those topics underneath there. Instructional videos, quizzes, and real-world practice for applying what's learned. And then all of the information and resources in the library. So the worksheets, personal medicine cards, different group content, and first-person accounts of recovery. That was one of the things that Jeff was talking about, all the different videos that are extremely helpful, where individuals will talk about their recovery. It's very helpful. You'll have access to all of Pat's papers and speeches and videos, self-advocacy, self-care, and empowerment tools. And a lot of them, again, like I mentioned, are in Spanish. If you could just scroll for me, John. Perfect. So the Academy and the library supports increased member engagement and activation, as well as the development of staff skills, decision support, and shared decision making. That's one of the things that with the Common Ground approach and a lot of Pat's resources and materials are really designed to empower individuals to get involved in their treatment and to be able to make treatment decisions and to really recover. So there is a link in this document to learn more about it, where it says, visit here. Perfect. And then we're going to talk a little bit about registering for your organizational membership. So what's included with your membership is the Academy and the library. So John, if you could just go to the next page of that flyer. So with your membership, there would be unlimited resource. You could download everything, unlimited access to on-demand virtual Academy courses, unlimited staff and member accounts within the organization. There would be annual orientation and consultation webinars organized through Community Care and presented by Pat Deegan and her team. And then some statistics within the Recovery Library. And then it tells you how to sign up. So what we are asking is that you identify one organizational champion to register for the membership with Community Care. And there might be some other programs or services that are in different locations, but if you register once, they'll be able to let you know how to get other individuals signed up. So the champion would receive and distribute a link to each staff and member to sign up for their own account within the organization. One thing that I did want you to know, that second bullet, is if you get registered or enrolled now, we are having an October 6th webinar, an orientation webinar from 12 to 1 o'clock. And you would get that information through signing up for it. And then there's another one there's a consultation webinar on December 9th from 12 to 1. And these are given by Pat and her team. And as the asterisk says, the registration links for those calls would be sent upon the acceptance of the completed registration. If you could just scroll a little bit more. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. So again, you know, it talks about registration, and then instructions on signing up and using the free resources, member quick reference guide. We talked about that a little bit earlier. So I really encourage providers and to get signed up to use the recovery library, and then you can, you know, collaborate with all your staff and get them memberships also.
Rebecca, how many staff can you assign?
It's unlimited.
Unlimited. Wow.
Yeah, it's unlimited. So, for example, if I am, you know, working in case management, all the case managers can have access to the library. They can also all have access to any of the e-learning, so the electronic learning and webinars that would be happening, which is kind of cool now, because right now with a lot of people working from home and all the telehealth that is happening, you know, to be able to get that type of information is really great.
I think this is an amazing resource. You could build your own recovery library in your provider agency. So I'll be sure to share this with everyone on the call, so that you could hopefully get registered before the October 6th orientation, because I think that would be very helpful to attend that as well. Though I appreciate you did a really great job of kind of walking us through the process here. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah.
So I feel like I stole all the question session. Does anybody have any questions they would like to ask of Becky or Jeff before we adjourn? I see we're getting close on time.
Yep. Okay. And like I said, you know, John could send all this information out to you all. I know a big email went out to a lot of providers, but sometimes what happens is it might get stuck at the top and not get, you know, communicated to everyone. So, you know, for those, you know, peer support workers and case managers, clinicians, anybody working in a provider can have access to the library and all of the information to help support people. So last thing I would like to leave you with is a quote from Pat. And she says, "The hope, the tools, and the inspiration to recover after a diagnosis of mental illness, the recovery library can and does help individuals with their journey." So thank you so much, folks. I hope you have a great day, and thanks for being patient with all my clicking and no sound.